Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly Roar. Hey, this week I'm continuing the growth series with a very special guest of mine to discuss the law of pain. But before we get started on that, I'm Greg Storch. I am the founder of Lion Enterprise, a leadership development and coaching business. I'm a certified professional coach and a certified speaker, coach, and trainer with the John Maxwell team. And I just want to welcome all of you to watching this watch party. It's Wednesday, and we're happy to have you here. Last week, I was speaking at the same time to Brad Milford back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, my father's hometown. And man, that guy was dropping truth bombs left and right. He gave some real world examples of the importance of starting with a solid foundation, which is ironic because the guy's background is in construction, right? So he's talking about foundations. And why it's so important to develop strategies. So I hope you caught Brad's video with me. He's the expert in that law, the law of design. But if you did not catch that video, do not worry, because you can go to my website at lion-enterprise.com, click on the Lion's Pride Library up at the top, and you'll see all my videos right there. And Brad's visit with me is video number 44. Just scroll to the bottom and you'll find his video and all my others. This week, I'm continuing this growth series. We're over halfway there. And today we're talking about the law of pain and how good management of bad experiences can lead to great growth. And here with me today from the great state of Texas is my very, very good friend and fellow certified professional coach, Suzan Nguyen, or as she's known to everyone around her, I love this, Suzan Winning. She is the founder of Be Better, Not Bitter Coaching, a certified professional coach, as I said. And you know what? She's an accomplished keynote speaker. Her first book is about to be released. She's going to talk a little bit about that at the end of today. So add author to this list and check this out. She is about to take the stage for a TED Talk. She's been in practice, and in, I think, about 4 or 5 more weeks, she takes the stage. So be on the lookout, because I definitely will be sharing the link to her TED Talk. It's amazing. Suzan Winning, welcome to the Weekly Roar, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Greg, thank you so much for having me. What an introduction that was.
I know it's a little over the top, but you're so amazing, and I'm so appreciative of you. I know you're so busy. You've been doing so much work on a coaching perspective, launching your business, Be Better, Not Bitter, doing this TED Talk, and working on your book. So thank you so much. So I think you know that I've taken each one of these 15 laws, and I've matched them up with my guests. And for you, of course, I picked the law of pain because that's really one that you've experienced, you've lived it, and you've conquered it. I mean, you're the expert here. So I like starting out these discussions by having my guests share a little bit about their growth journey. And now I've been fortunate enough to see your keynote at Bed Talk. So I'm very familiar with your story and how this law has played a role in your life. But would you be kind enough, please, and I know you're always talking about it, but please share the highlights of that journey with us, if you will.
Well, the highlights of my journey, in 2001, I was involved in a traumatic car accident. It was devastating. And in results of that, I lost my dominant arm. So it was, man, my world was completely turned upside down. There were moments where I didn't think I was going to make it out. I didn't want to make it out. I didn't feel like I could move forward. And it was a very, very dark time in
Mhm.
my life. It was truly my lowest point in life. But it took so much dedication and time and effort to really push through and to really face my demons head on. The negativity that was going on in my mind, and retraining my brain to see the good in what happened, which is, really tough to even think about that. But there are many, many valuable lessons that came from the loss of my arm and how I am now living my best life.
Oh, I can't even imagine this scenario where you've lost your dominant limb, and you have to not only retrain yourself, but you have to shift your mindset too. So this law is all about the way we choose to react to bad experiences in our lives. And like your business, we can choose to be better or choose to be bitter. And the one thing that stuck out to me was the sentence in this book that says, pain prompts us to face who we are, where we are. So, what I want to ask you, Suzan, is how did this accident force you to face who you were and where you were?
It truly did, to be honest with you. Um, just thinking back, once again, like I mentioned earlier, my world was completely turned upside down. And regardless how unreasonable it was and how unfair
Mhm.
it was, I needed to pull through, and I needed to try to get myself together. So it was tough. It was really tough, but it definitely forced me to deal with the situation at hand. It wasn't easy. From that pain, I feel like it's definitely helped me become extremely resilient. Um, and yeah.
Yeah, abs- absolutely. You know what? Actually, this is, I didn't share this with you, but I think I want to share the story of you and I when we met in our coaching program, because th- the story that I share with people about our meeting and how we became good friends after that is a testament to how you've risen above this setback. So let me just deviate real quick and then we'll jump back into this. So Suzan and I were in Austin, Texas in 2017 in November. So we're going through a coaching program together to get certified, and it's on I think a Saturday, and we're paired up and we're interviewing each other, and Suzan's getting ready to write down notes as she's coaching me, right? And one of the things I asked her is, I said, I asked her something like, are you right-handed or left-handed? And she just looked at me like, um left. And we looked at each other for a second, and then we both just started busting out laughing like, holy crap, did I just really ask this lady missing her dominant arm, which is she right or left-handed? So the moral of the story was she busted out in laughter, and that is a huge, Suzan, that was such a one, it was a relief to me because the last thing I wanted to do was offend you. But it was such a relief to have you actually be able to laugh, because I know it was years for you to get to that point. So thank you for that. So anyway, I deviated. I just wanted to share that because I just think you're awesome. One of my
Thank you.
favorite quotes that was actually mentioned in this book is from a guy named Dennis Holey, who said, expecting the world to treat you fairly just because you're a good person is a little like expecting the bull not to eat you because you're a vegetarian. So when I read that, the question I wanted to ask you about was, how long did it take you to realize that you were actually the one ultimately responsible. You were the one who was going to be the one to pull you up from that low point.
You know what? It felt like a lifetime. It truly did. But um, it was many sleepless nights. It was many nights of blaming myself, being extremely bitter, um, crying myself to sleep, waking up crying. I mean, it was several months on end. But I had a turning point that made me realize that I either needed to move forward and accept my new reality, or if I wanted to just stay in that dark time and just continue to blame people, continue to be better, bitter, continue to be angry. It was my decision, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that accepting your reality is key. I feel like for many of us going through adversity or being faced with something very difficult, at least for me, accepting my new reality was a huge factor in order for me to move forward, and not just accepting it, but being okay with it, right?
Yeah.
Of course, it's difficult, extremely difficult living and having, challenges on a day-to-day basis, but you just got to be okay with what's happened and just try your best to move forward and make the best of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. First of all, I just want to thank you for opening up. I know that sometimes it can be difficult to relive these times in our lives and just share them. I know you've been doing quite a bit of it, and I love that you do that because, as you know, I'm a firm believer in sharing our stories because we just never know who we're going to impact. And that's why we need to tell our stories out there. Somebody's going to relate to this, and it might be the story they needed to hear to rise up and overcome. So I love that you talked about accepting your new reality. What was that journey like for you, getting to that point where you were like, look, enough's enough. Time for me to change my perspective. What was it that clicked in you that made you want to be better instead of stay bitter?
You know what? There's so many things I could share on the reason why I chose to be better, but just that feeling, that unhappiness was eating me up alive.
Oh,
I felt like I was at war against myself, and I was being defeated clearly. And I wanted to fight back. I wanted to fight for my life, right?
yeah.
I just wanted to be normal again. And the way that I saw fit was just trying to be able to accept my new reality and move forward, because ultimately what we feel is the choice, and what we decide to do, that's our choice as well. So I could have sat in the dark and I could have continued to cry, continue to be bitter, continue to be angry, continue to blame everyone. But you know what? It was time just to man up and just accept what's happened, and just try to do the best you can with your situation.
Wow. Oh my gosh, this is gold nuggets dropping everywhere. I love it, Susan. Two things I was thinking of while I was listening to what you were saying. The first is this comes down to the raw fight or flight response. I mean, this is a grave change. You lose a limb, and you have the option of retreating, or you face these head on, and you chose. So your response is fight. So that's probably one of the lessons you learned about yourself is you're a fighter. And the second thing I was thinking of that you made a great point about was at the end of the day, it's about making a choice, right? That's That's huge, because life's all about choices. And just like you, I mean, your platform is, you know, do you want to be better or stay bitter? You know, that's a choice, better or bitter. I love it. That was great. And thanks for hitting those points. Solid. I know you've read this book before. You were actually in one of my masterminds specifically on sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. That entire John Maxwell book is about overcoming loss, whether it be a loss like yours, a loss of a loved one, loss of a relationship, um, how to overcome and make the right choices with that. And you added so much value to that mastermind. I loved it. And in this book, John Maxwell shares in this particular chapter on the law of pain, he suggests 5 actions that people can take to turn our pain into gain. Now, I'm not going to regurgitate this book. Listen, folks, if you're interested in learning about the law of pain and these 5 actions you can take, you need to get this book. It's $12 on Amazon. It will change your life. I guarantee you. Spend the $12. This book's like an inch and a quarter thick. It'll take you a week to read, a 1 week of your life to change your entire life. So I won't go through all 5 points, but some of them, some of the actions that John Maxwell recommends is, first and foremost, choosing a positive life stance. He mentions embracing the value of the bad experience. And then another one of the 5 was taking responsibility for your life. And I think, you know, Susan, you mentioned some of those. What I wanted to ask you about those 5 is when you read those 5 actions you could take, did any one of those in particular really resonate more than the others with you?
You know, they were all very valuable, very
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
But I believe the embracing the value of bad experiences, uh, that really resonated with me. And once again, because I feel like when we have bad experiences in life, we're automatically reacting to it, right? We're already thinking the worst case scenario. And like mine, there's no way I would have thought sitting here now I'm speaking about it just like it was a great war story, right? Just
Yeah.
like that book mentioned. So it's so amazing that I'm able to speak about it and share the valuable lessons that came from it. So I would say embracing the value of bad experiences. It's so important because in life we do experience bad situations, but if we really approach it and respond with a positive mindset, the values that come from it, oh man, it is extremely valuable. And it's those valuable lessons in life that can help you become stronger in ways you've never imagined, that can help you become resilient and more confident in yourself, so that if you're approached with other situations in life, you know that you're going to get through them. So I would say that was very cool. I resonated with it, but you're right. The entire book is great. The Law of Pain is great. And reading it can really change your life. I love it.
Yeah, it really did. That was a great response. Thank you so much for I put you on the spot to make you pick one, but you did great. So, you know, the value of the law of pain is that it provides an opportunity for us to turn our lives around. The quote, I love this. It's stuck in my head because it kind of rhymes, right? A bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. That gives me goosebumps. Unless you fail to make the turn. What's one of the biggest opportunities that you've been given as a result of this drastically painful experience that you went through?
You know what? There's so many great, valuable lessons. Once again, I could talk about them all day, and so many great opportunities that I have learned from this horrible accident.
Hmm.
But I would say just the opportunity for me to continue sharing my message with people that are faced with adversity, empowering people to become more resilient and to persevere through the dark time, just giving people hope. I would say that is the best opportunity for me. And that's the reason why I continue sharing my message with my speaking engagements. That's the reason why I decided to write that book. That's the reason why, I just continue with helping people be better instead of being bitter. So I would say that is a great opportunity just for me to continue empowering people to be better.
Yeah, that is a huge opportunity to be able to help other people, right? Such a um got servant leadership right there in person. So, okay, I'm done drilling you, but I have one last question. And I know you could speak for days on this, but how do you, what would you tell people if they ask you, how do you choose to be better instead of bitter?
You know what? I choose to be better instead of being bitter on a daily basis. I may get emotional, sorry.
Yeah.
But to be completely transparent, there are so many um, challenges I face on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know, being an amputee, it's difficult, right?
Yeah.
Extremely difficult.
Sure.
So I face these challenges on a daily basis, but I manage to get through them. I may not, approach those tasks the same way you do, or the same way an individual with two hands do, but I will get it done one way or another. It may be a little slower or a lot slower, but I will get it done. I feel like I don't sit around and complain about it, what I can't do, but I think about what I still can do. So it's really about what how I approach life on a daily basis, being better. I could sit here and I could complain about certain things that I'm faced with on a day to day basis, but I choose not to. It's not going to get me anywhere. And it's only going to put me back in a really bad place. So, you know what? Make the best of the situation and, just trying to achieve the same results as the next person, although I may take a different route getting there.
Oh my gosh. Folks, you're going to want to rewind this video and just listen to that answer one more time, two more times until you get it. That was awesome, Susan. Making the choice every day to do it. You're such an inspiration. I think of two words, encouraging and inspiring, when I talk to you every time. So I love it. That was amazing. So there's the recipe, folks, on how to be better instead of bitter. It's about making choices, and it's about making those choices what's best for you every time the choice needs to be made. Susan, can you talk to us a little bit about what you're currently working on? I know I mentioned your book coming out and the TED Talk. Talk to us about what you're doing in Texas. And I would also love for you to share with us how we can get a hold of you. How can we reach out and contact you if somebody just wants to reach out and, you've inspired them and they want to connect?
Absolutely. Anyone can get in touch with me at Susan at bbnbcoaching.com. Also, my website is bbnbcoaching.com. You can feel free to check me out on that. As Greg mentioned earlier, I do have a video on YouTube. It's under my first and last name, #BeBetter. That was a bed talk I did, and I am working on a TED Talk. And interestingly enough, the title of my talk is Gradient Shades of Pain.
Mm.
So I'll be talking about pain and how we should recognize and confront the pain in order to move forward. I feel like it's a very powerful talk, and I feel like it could not have come at a better time with all of the things that are going on with us. Yeah, I feel like it can really help people. So I'm excited about that. I hit the stage on April 7th at Texas A&M. So that's, yeah, I'm super pumped for that. So I've been rehearsing my tail off, and hopefully I crush it. What else? So my book, One Arm But Not Unarmed. That's a cool title.
Loving the title.
So that book will be published, I'm sorry. That book will be published in beginning of April as well. So definitely look out for it. I'm super excited. That's my journey, and some really good helpful tips in there, and some really nice takeaways for everyone. What else? And I'm just really just trying to do my best to continue to empower people. I love working with my coaching clients. I love being able to watch them grow, and it's just like magic. It's amazing. I'm just in a really good place where I'm able to help people shift their energy and just help them live their best life, as I'm doing right now. So
I love the title of your book. It's going to be amazing. Speaking of your book, is that going to be available through Amazon?
yes,
Okay,
it will be
perfect.
available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and also an ebook as well. That will be available, so that hopefully you guys will pick it up and read it. I am very grateful for this opportunity to share, the law of pain with everyone. And if there's anything I can do for you, feel free to reach out to me.
Awesome. So you guys can go to either my website or my business page on Facebook, or you can go right to Suzan's website. And once that book's released, you can order that book through those two channels. I'll be sure to post the link to that book. You're gonna want to get that book. So Suzan, that's it. Don't hang up after I say goodbye to everybody, so I can say my proper goodbye to you. I so appreciate the time you've spent with us today and sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much, Greg. I really appreciate you, and I wish everyone the best, and I'm sending you good vibes, and be better.
That's awesome. And you know what? Thanks to all of you for tuning in for this watch party. This is the third week we've done the watch party, and it's going great. I love being able to interact with you guys, and I just appreciate your support. I'm going to be back here again next week. Same place, same time, with another colleague, an executive coach, David McGlennon. He's also in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He shares the same vision that I do, and that's to make an impact in the workplace by helping organizations create, foster, and maintain positive work cultures. I'm all about improving the lives of employees, and it starts, in my mind, with management, making that place a workplace you want to be at. So David's going to speak to me from Pittsburgh next week, and we're going to discuss the law of the ladder. So until then, everyone, remember, be powerful, but stay poised just like a lion. Bye, everybody.